Hello, everyone. Today we are looking at Onee Chanbara Origins. I I love this trash game so much. So Onee Chanbara, also known as Bikini Zombie Slayers, was a very meme game created by T3 Studios. And so this company based in Japan, they basically released mini games as entire games on their own. And so they released Onee Chanbara, I think the first one, in 2004, and they've been making them and remaking them over the years. And so finally in 2019, after 20 years of this crap, they decided to basically re-release the first two games stories into one bundle with a new art style entirely. The original ones kind of looked sort of pseudo-realistic, but this one has an anime abstract art style, which I really love and enjoy. But yeah, this is a game I heard, some chatter about and people were talking about it. I thought, oh hell, I'll just, pick it up anyway. It is one of my favorite action games of all time, alongside Devil May Cry and Metal Gear Rising. And I am not kidding you. I am absolutely shocked at how well made this game is and how much fun it is to play. It definitely is kind of a button masher, but it's a lot of fun. So you play as, and this story doesn't matter, it's nonsensical, but it makes up for it for the game because it's so good. So you play as two sisters, Aya and Saki. And Aya's the one on the front cover with the cow girl hat and the bikini, and she's the one who uses the double sword technique, while Saki uses the single sword technique. And you also get to play as an additional character, Lei, who is the gunslinger, and her moveset is really different and very weird. But I'd love to see them keep making these games because, again, they're just really stupid. For example, part of the story in the first few chapters is that you come across these two other zombie girls who are like kind of animated and have like a blue skin aesthetic to them. And so their whole deal is that they just want to fight you, but they're also two sisters that are like a version similar to Aya and Saki. And of course, when you start the game, you just play as Aya alone, and she's looking for her sister. And as you go through the game, you can basically switch between Aya and Saki once you kind of confront Saki and defeat her because she was possessed. And also their father is, of course, possessed, so you have to take him out as well. But yeah, the main aspects of this game are basically you have a dodge button, which you use to, get out of enemies' attacks. And if you dodge at the right moments, you can go to the slow-mo version, which I absolutely love. It's so entertaining. You also have a very fun counter system, which is, again, super useful. It stuns the enemy. It's really great. And again, it's mostly about, you have your light attack, heavy attack. If you charge your heavy attack, you can do a bunch of really cool things with it. You have two different blood meters. One is a blood stain meter, essentially, where this is essentially the version of your reload for your character. Essentially, where you need to, if your sword is too covered in blood, you need to basically wipe it clean. And then you have your bloodlust meter, where if that gets full, then basically you can go into your super berserk mode, and then you can do all of your cool super moves like almost as fast and as many as you want. The game also is decently challenging on the higher difficulties, and again, it's just a ton of fun to just play through and have this great experience. I've been told essentially that Onee Chanbara Origin is kind of like the proper and really well done remaster of this game series, and is the correct and proper way to play this series. And so I basically jumped on that train, and yeah, I had an absolute blast. Like, I played this solidly for at least a week. It was absolutely so much fun, so over the top, so stupid, and I just had a great time while playing it. If I had to choose, I would definitely prefer playing as Aya. She has the best moveset. She has two different kinds of super strikes that you unlock that are really powerful and a lot of fun to use. And so every time you essentially defeat a boss, you kind of have to do this kind of finisher move, and it always feels really good to do. You can also, of course, jump, dash, all that other basic stuff. And again, the story kind of revolves around, why are the zombies here? Who do I have to kill now? And so you have, all these characters interacting and talking to each other. And again, it really doesn't matter. You kind of start the game playing 10 levels Aya, 10 levels of Saki. And then I think after that, there's kind of like a final boss at the end of each of those. But then you can also replay the entire game as either character that you want. And Lei, again, her move style is really interesting because it's basically, she has this small knife kind of thing. And so she can do these kind of takedown moves. And so she's able to like go behind the enemy and like basically stab them in the head and do these, whatever kind of, ultimate moves. And they're not very effective because there's a lot of enemies, but her playstyle basically revolves around the fact that you want to do that, and a bunch of her other kind of, she has a small like dagger moves that you basically do that in order to build up your blood meter so that by the end of it, you basically have this ability that allows you to essentially start using your guns. And so once you have this built out ability, then you can start using your weapons and your guns. And of course, you keep getting more kills, you can extend your blood meter and your blood mode. And it feels really, really cool to use it. The main aspect of, I guess, Aya's moveset is, there are ways to essentially stun enemies. And once they're stunned, you can initiate this kind of huge sword dash move. Some enemies will get, naturally stunned as you hit them. But that kind of is the main aspect of the game, that you kind of, get into this flow state of getting enemies into a stun state and then using that stun state to basically take them out. And a bunch of other enemies too, because when they're in that stun state and you do that attack, it basically creates this moment where everything in the vicinity gets hit with a huge AoE. There's also this cool thing where you, between each sword swing, if you hit it on the right beat or as the swing is ending or something, then what happens is Aya will do a brand new moveset. And if you do a full, you have to unlock it, but once you do a full like 7 combo or something, she'll do like a huge area of effect thing. And there is actually an option to show this beat meter, which honestly I found very, very useful. I mean, I was doing it pretty naturally by the end of the game, but if I were to get back into it, I would definitely need to activate that again. And basically just like it's just a little beat meter to show you every time you hit this thing, that's how you get, your super ability mode back. Also, I should mention that when they go, into their blood mode, they also kind of go Super Saiyan, so they become all blonde and whatever. And so they have a certain style about them as well in that mode. Of course, this game also has, items that you can buy at the store, like, health, blood items, extra attack, extra defense, and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, countering, dodging, stringing together combos. I had a ton of fun playing this game. It was just ridiculously fun. And by the end of the game, what was my favorite thing to do was actually to do the horde mode little area where you fight waves of enemies, kind of like the Tower in Devil May Cry. But you just get really, really addictive, and into it, because it's just a lot of fun, and you just have a huge rooms of enemies, and there are certain things you unlock. So I think I got to like a level 130 in the tower area or whatever. I don't really remember, but it was a lot of fun. Also, I think there's this mechanic. I don't know. It's been a little bit since I've played this game, but I think there's a mechanic where after you do a combo or a dodge and you click the reload button in between, you'll clean your sword really effectively. And so the skill ceiling for getting really good at this game is fairly high. And so I felt like by the end of the game I was stringing together combos like it was no problem. I was taking down entire hordes of enemies. It felt really, really good, and I had a great time playing it. The best thing is when you hit someone on the periphery who also gets stunned, and you can chain together a bunch of sort of dash attacks, which are really, really fun. At the end of the game, you fight this character called Eva, who honestly I have no idea why she wants to fight you, but she's wearing this, skimpy leotard outfit, and she's evil, and so you need to basically just fight her. And that's also really fun because the whole aspect of that fight is based around the fact that you need to essentially dodge her bullets. And so as you are dodging her kind of bullet attacks, you're constantly getting slow-mo dodge things and building up your blood meter so you can go Super Saiyan and just take the fight directly to her, and it feels really, really cool and really, really fun. It's a great, well-designed boss fight. Also, the enemies in this game are not just controlled to zombies, but also you fight these mythological creatures like ogres and other things like that. The characters also have a pretty good personality. Even some of the antagonist characters, like the two zombie girls, they're pretty funny. And overall, this is just a really fun game. Like, it's incredibly stupid, but incredibly fun and well made. And I am so glad I played it, because I just really, really got into like a different mode. I don't know. It's very unusual for Japanese games to do zombies, I feel, except for things like Resident Evil. But even then, they're just kind of different. And yeah, I don't know. I had way too much fun playing this game than I thought I would. I thought, the game about the bikini zombie slayers would kind of be like a cash cow, or kind of, it's like a just an indecent way to get a bunch of, money from thirsty weebs, but it's actually really well made, which I love. Oh, and I forgot, you have double demon mode. So like once you go into like your superpower mode, eventually you can unlock demon mode, so that you become this almost Devil May Cry like version of Aya and Saki. And it's red and blue respectively, and you do way more damage, way more attacks, way more combos. And when you do your special kind of stun thrust attack, it's always a different animation and a really increased different attack in that mode. And I absolutely love it. It's so cool. And I don't know, I just got really into the gameplay and the story and the atmosphere of this game. It was just so much fun. You do also have the ability to use shurikens and projectiles, but honestly, you really stop using those once you start really playing the game hardcore. But yeah, this is the game I kind of definitely want to come back to years down the line, simply because it's just so well made when it shouldn't be. It has this cheesy like action aesthetic, and it's just really fun overall to play. I really could not get enough of it. It was really an amazing experience, and I recommend it to anyone. But yeah, the only sad part is I don't think there's a physical release for this. It was like Japanese PS4 download store only. I know there's a bunch of other ones in this series. Like there's the new series that I guess they made right after this in order to hype up for that new series is Onee Chanbara Z, which is like the next generation. And and again, each game seems to have a different art style, different kind of like characters sometimes. I don't know. I have no idea what's going on, but yeah. The very funny / weird thing is the game is kind of broken / lets you cheat in that every time you level up, there are 3 different slots to level up in, which is health, attack, and defense. And so as you put your, every time you level up, you had 1 point to put in these 3 areas. So by the end of the game, if you want to be like super powerful, you need to be level like 300 so that you can, be level 99 in these 3 areas. And that's honestly why the kind of horde mode works really well and for leveling up super quickly, because it's just hordes of enemies back to back. But yeah, this game has a very distinct style, a very distinct vibe. I honestly really enjoyed it, as I've said multiple times. But yeah, it just, when you get the combat to start clicking, it feels really good, and you get into a really great rhythm. And yeah, that's all I gotta really say about it, guys. See you later. Bye.